Doesn't matter what he's doing in the 3D. It literally doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he's gone cold or she felt like she had to give him space. It doesn't matter. You can turn it around like that. I turned around something yesterday like that. All right, guys, let's do a Loz lesson about attachment styles, like avoidance. So many of you talk about this shit, and I want to talk about that. If your SP is being hot and cold, if your specific person's pulled away from you, if they're not contacting you as much, what is going on with them that's actually being created, manifested, caused by you? There's a very long question in the Subconscious Loz Squad, and I'll read it out. Just so you know, that's what this Loz lesson is going to be all about. So if you've got a specific person who's pulled away or not prioritizing you like they used to, or not spending as much time with you, or you don't have as much contact, or they're seeming hot and cold even if you're not together, this Loz lesson is for you. Okay. This might sound stupid after all the things I reached and manifested, and I don't even want to give this too much meaning since I know I caused it, but your advice means a lot to me. My reality shows up again and again with these pullbacks from my specific person where he is cold and distant. Okay, so just remember what she said in the second paragraph, that he pulls back and he's cold and distant. This is her reality she's saying exists. Before I knew you, I was into attachment styles like avoidance, etc. I know what you think of it and completely agree with your opinion, but these loops repeated so much that I'm used to it and already expect that behavior after a while of having a great time with SP. She expects that behavior after having a great time for a while with SP. She expects the avoidance. Okay? How can I get rid of this crap that keeps me in this loop? How would you change your thinking while they distance themselves and are cold towards you? While they distance themselves and are cold towards you. I barely react on the outside, give space, etc., but my mindset needs a shift too, I guess. No, your mindset is causing the coldness and the distance. So let's reverse engineer how this has happened to her. First of all, she used to listen to that crap about avoidance or anxious attachment or attachment styles. And she's got that in her head that this is what people do. And a lot of you listen to that crap because it validates what already keeps happening to you in your 3D reality in relationships. So you can put the sticky note on the other person. Oh, they're avoidant, they're a narc, they've got anxious attachment, whatever the fucking psychobabble is that you guys use as excuses as to why someone is acting the way they are in your reality. And instead of taking complete ownership of the way they're showing up because it's your reality, you're sticky noting them with some crap that you heard on a TikTok or some psychologist told you so you can blame others instead of actually looking within and realizing you're causing it. Now, this person at the beginning reckons she knows she caused it. Does she? Does she now? I'm used to it, these repeated patterns. So I expect that behavior after a while of having a great time with SP. Now, what happens to you fuckers is, and I used to do this too, is as soon as it starts to get really good and you start to really like them, what happens back here? All your old fears start kicking in. So is it them that starts pulling away, or is it your old fears that they'll pull away, that the pattern will repeat, that now that it's really good, it won't stay this way, that it's too good to be true, that they couldn't possibly love me this much, or I always have these kind of relationships, or this always happens, then that gets reflected out, then they start acting that way, and then you're like, oh, I knew it. They always do this after 3 months, or after I start to like them, this starts to happen, or then they start to go cold, or they become avoidant. This is what always happens to me, this pattern. What the hell? The common denominator in that pattern is you. You can go from guy to guy to guy to guy, or girl to girl to girl to girl, and the common denominator in each of the relationships that has that pattern is not the other person, it's you. How can I get rid of this crap that keeps me in this loop? How would you change your thinking while they distance themselves and are cold towards you? While they're distant and cold towards you, you recognize that you're causing the distance and coldness. That you yourself are creating that reality where they're distant and cold. So there is very little point giving them space because you created the need for space. Are you getting this? If you think things always go wrong, they'll always go wrong. If you think people are avoidant, they'll be avoidant. If you think people go cold or don't prioritize you after a while or don't give you what you want after a while, that'll happen. Are you guys not watching Married at First Sight at the moment in Australia? It is a perfect example of they manifested their fears perfectly. There are girls in this TV show, this experiment as they call it, who at the beginning said, this will happen. Now it has textbook happened to them. And people are actually writing in the comments on these videos, oh my God, she feared this right at the very beginning. So the girl Beck feared that Danny would be after other girls and she wasn't good looking enough. And what started to happen? First of all, there was another good looking girl called Gia who he apparently said was more his type. Then there's now a girl in the experiment that he started talking to after the experiment ended who's a better looking girl according to Beck's assessment of herself. And her constant fear of third parties has been made manifest, and that he wouldn't want her was made manifest, even though she convinced herself that he did want her and believed everything he said. At the very beginning, she had the assumption that she liked him more than he liked her, that she was more attracted to him than he was to her, and eventually there would be third parties and he'd pick someone else. And that eventuated, and at the final vows, he was like, I'm not attracted to you like this. I want you as what? A friend. So she friend-zoned herself from the very beginning. And her fear of third parties was there from the very beginning. Then if you look at Rachel, who had a fear that she was not lovable enough and a person wouldn't prioritize her over other things, then was not loved in the end and was not prioritized in the end. And she literally said, he will go back to Sydney, Steve-O, and prioritize his work over me. And that's exactly what he did. And then he said, oh, in winter, we can have a relationship. Winter. It's like summer now in Australia. And they manifested it perfectly. And you guys can blame the guy all you like and say, oh, Steve turned out to be a bad guy or Danny turned out to be a narc. No. Danny literally played out Beck's fears and Steve-O literally played out Rachel's fears. And Alyssa had David play out her fears that guys turn on her and eventually she ends up having big fights with them and it always falls apart. And she did that with David. It was perfect and then it went to shit. And she said all of her relationships before this went like that. And they're all turning to be bad guys. And David wasn't a bad guy, but she sees them that way. I could go on and on about the show, about how everyone's fears played out. Literally textbook of what they said at the very beginning was going to happen to them. So what is this girl textbook doing in her current relationships, just like in Married at First Sight right now? She's assuming people will be avoidant and pull back. My reality shows up again and again with these pullbacks where my specific person is cold and distant. Before I knew you, I was into attachment styles like avoidance. These loops repeated so much that I'm used to it and I already expect that behavior. You guys have got to stop expecting the same behavior that has occurred in relationships with you before, because you are the one creating that behavior in them and you are the one then creating a pattern that you feel like is going to happen again. And then you turn around, you dumb bitches, and you say, oh, I knew it. My intuition knew it. And you blame intuition or you praise yourself for your wonderful intuition. But like these dumb fuckwits on maths, you manifested that. So don't go around telling Steve-O he's an asshole because he said he'll put a bullet in his relationship with Rachel, or call Danny a player when Beck had the fear all along that she wasn't attractive enough for him and he was going to look at other girls. And don't turn around and say that Alyssa's a complete psycho when from the very beginning she said every single relationship she's ever had with a guy turns out bad all of a sudden, like Jekyll and Hyde. Didn't that happen with David? Don't be those girls. Don't go blaming the guys. Don't attach attachment styles to them. You're the one creating it. You're the one who is playing out in your mind how it's going to go, how they're going to be. And then when they be that way, don't be shocked. Don't say this dumb phrase that I've heard about 10 times on maths already by 3 different bitches called, he blindsided me. I was blindsided. No, you weren't blindsided, you dumb bitch. You literally feared this from the very beginning of the show. Rewind it. Go back to episodes 1, 2, and 3 and listen to yourself and listen to your fears. And they have played out exactly how you predicted them to. You manifested that. That's what manifestation is. Manifestation isn't just creating, manifesting, making seen good stuff. You're also making seen and known bad shit from your fears that you don't realize you're fearing. And then you blame other people and you sticky note them with dumb attachment styles or narcissism or whatever some fucking bullshit TikTok you watched said or some psychobabble psych gave you in a session that you had, when it's you, from your fears that you won't be listened to, from your fears that you won't be prioritized, from your fears that you're not good looking enough. Alyssa thinks she won't be listened to, and she won't be heard, so she talks over the top of every fucking person she has an argument with, like poor David couldn't get a fucking word in. And Rachel thought she wasn't lovable enough and he wouldn't choose her. And then Beck thought he would choose other girls. Ta-da! It fucking manifested. Don't be blindsided. Be aware. That is all I'm teaching you guys is awareness. So in this case, what this girl needs to do is stop being aware of this old pattern that you hold. Stop being aware of your fears. Stop sticky noting him with he's pulling away or he's being cold. He's not being cold. He's coming towards me. He loves to talk to me. He loves to spend time with me. He wants nothing more than to spend time with me because I am enough and special and chosen and the one who feels like it's home to him, and he can't stop thinking about me all day because I am beautiful and special and generous and kind and loving and caring and everything he's ever wanted in a woman and all the shit you should be thinking about yourself that you're not, that's creating a pattern that's the opposite of what you actually want. Because what this silly girl is thinking is she is the kind of person who could be pulled away from. She is the kind of person who someone would go cold on. She has the kind of relationships where someone does pull away. You do, or she does, attract or manifest the kind of person who does this stuff and is avoidant and avoids her. So stop thinking people are avoiding you and start investigating why you think people would avoid you, darling. It's about you. It's not about him. Please stop sticky noting them with the bullshit that you've caused. Watching maths for me was fucking exhausting because I could see it playing out in real time, watching this fucking car crash with each of these relationships. And it was just like, wake up. And then you wonder why I shout at you guys, because even if you're in my squad, this is where these questions come from, and you say, I know I've caused it, you still say, yeah, but how do I stop it from happening? You are the one causing it happening. So stop the thinking that's causing it from happening. Every time you think that they're cold, think they're not. Every time you think they're going to pull away, think that they're not. Every time you think you're the person who could be pulled away from or someone could be cold towards, don't think that way about yourself. Don't describe that about yourself. Don't ruminate on stories like that about yourself. Stop those stories and change them on the spot. Are you getting this? What's someone written here? I'm so proud of you for clicking to girl. She changes lives. What's this? What are we talking about? What's Lauren said? Hang on. Me too. What are you saying? This, honestly, Loz, has changed my life. Oh, wonderful, Lauren. So, guys, are you getting this? Yes, this will be put on YouTube. So, guys, my YouTube is Subconscious Loz. Go over there and watch all of these lives that I do on TikTok. I put them the next day on YouTube or that afternoon, okay? So, this will be out tomorrow. So, make sure you go over there. I'll put it here when we're on YouTube. You'll see this is my channel. Subscribe. But also come and join the squad, my Subconscious Loz squad, where you can actually ask me these questions that I answer here. I will answer your questions. I'll pick one, okay? And we have a post every week where you can post your questions. Because, guys, so many of you, even when you've learned from me, still aren't getting that you're causing this. So whatever's happening in your 3D reality, you've got to fight against it in your own mind instead of fighting against it out here. I had something happen yesterday that happened in my 3D reality that went a bit tits up, and I immediately got out my journal And I just started writing things down. No, this is happening in big letters. And I just stared at it. I was like, nah, it's going to go this way. And exactly what I said happened today. And the person it was happening was like, oh, it all turned out great. I was like, of course it did. I wrote it down. And I fucking stared at it. And I really fucking thought it hard. And I wasn't concerned about the thing that went tits up out here. I was like, doesn't matter that it went tits up. And we actually had this conversation today. Oh, that's good that happened because now this has happened. That's a bridge of incidents. This thing went to shit. Now good things have occurred. Are you getting this? It doesn't matter what's happening in your 3D reality. You know you caused it, so you know you can change it. Guys, if I am freaked out, if I am in some kind of bind in my 3D reality, I do journal. I will rampage. I will talk to myself out loud and fucking have inner conversations. You guys think that manifestation coaches don't do this shit? You think they've got perfect lives and things don't go wrong? Are you guys insane? Are you delulu? Shit happens because you caused that shit. There is not one manifestation coach out there who doesn't have things going wrong in their 3D. If they are saying that happens, they are bullshit artists. It's what you do with what happens that matters when it happens. Now, of course, you would love to be all zen and not have anything bad happen, but guys, we're not aware all the time of what we're thinking all the fucking time and what we're creating out here, the reflection out here. We're not always aware. The idea is to be aware, yes, but I question anyone who says that they're aware 100% of the time and can fully manifest a reality where nothing goes awry or nothing bothers them. So if it does happen to you and things do go wrong and patterns do emerge again, understand that you're the one creating the pattern. You're the one creating the shit. Doesn't matter what the shit is, you are creating it, not that other person. They're not doing anything to you. They're not being a certain way. They are simply how you think they're going to be. They can only be how you think they're going to be. So this guy is only turning out, like this girl said, playing out the pattern that she thinks is going to happen. So he is only going to be that way and it can't be any different. And until she changes that pattern in her own mind, of her own thinking, he will play it out exactly as she expects it to happen because she's the creator of her own reality because it is directly mirroring her subconscious fears. If you're not aware of what your subconscious fears are, I highly suggest you come and join my squad. Or if you want to do a self-assessment, you get my self-concept course called A Kick-Ass You, or my Worthy as Fuck for Love course, and you can get them combined together in a bundle. Worthy as Fuck for Love is more about your relationship patterns. And if you want to watch the YouTube I did yesterday about that, it's on my YouTube. It's called Do This Task, Break Your Love Patterns, Break Your Relationship Patterns. You can actually do a task in that. But also just try and assess yourself with these assessments in the courses if you find it very, very difficult to do the task like what I did in that video. If you find it very hard to do this yourself, guys, that's what my courses are for, okay? I actually manifested this live. Oh, well done, Crystal. All right, guys, are you understanding what I'm saying? Please stop watching anyone who talks about psychobabble like attachment styles. Please understand that whatever attachment style keeps occurring to you, you're causing it. So how are you going to fix it? Stop being the person who thinks those things about them, about relationships, and mostly about yourself. Doesn't matter what he's doing in the 3D. It literally doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he's gone cold or she felt like she had to give him space. It doesn't matter. You can turn it around like that. I turned around something yesterday like that. And today it's like a better outcome than we could have possibly devised. All from something that went to shit last night. And the other person on the end of it was freaking out. And I had to text this person and be like, don't freak out. Everything's good. This will be good. And they were like, ah. And then today like, it's good. And I was like, you see? Should I only affirm for myself or both my SP and myself? Your SP is a reflection of you. But if you have a terrible story about your SP, sure, go ahead and say new things about them too, if you're holding on to really old stories about them. Yes, I read you said there's a delay of the old movie and Loz did a whole video about that. No, guys, that is... Okay, you can say there's a delay, but the old movie is playing out, sure, but you're still thinking it. You're still thinking it. You can listen to people talking about delays all you like, but trust me, you're still thinking it. That's why it's still happening. Okay? I've done a couple of videos about that recently, about delays and time delays, okay? I keep losing my SP after manifesting him. You're doing that. I even manifested him back when he was married to another. Okay, so how are you doing that? Have you got a story that you won't be chosen by him and that's why you're even picking someone who's married? Probably. Why are you doing that? That's about you. Change your thinking about you and you won't keep losing him all the time. Oh my God, Loz, you've changed my life. I'm so happy I found you. Oh, Taylor, you're welcome. All right, guys, are you getting this? Loz, I'm manifesting my dream job and making more than ever, every other GM. Oh, wonderful, Heidi. Congratulations. All right, guys, do you want to have the same success as the people in these lives, changing their lives, getting new jobs, getting their SPs, treating them the way they want, getting engaged, etc.? Listen to me. Loz, which course do you suggest me to do first? Waffle or a kick-ass you just did back in begging and be their priority? Okay, so if you just want to generally know about your self-concept in all areas of your life and you really don't understand self-concept at all, I would start with a kick-ass you. However, if you've watched enough of my videos and you do understand self-concept as a concept, okay, you understand it, and you want to really focus in on love, I would do Worthy as Fuck for Love because it focuses in on love only. Okay, people say waffle, Worthy as Fuck for Love. Everyone calls it a waffle in my group. Sounds like we're talking about waffles, but we're not. My SP flew me out to his city, treated me like a queen, but became inconsistent. What to affirm? He didn't become inconsistent. You had some fears that kicked in after he did this wonderful thing to you. I bet you thought to yourself, this is too good to be true. Why is he spoiling me so much? I've never had a man do this for me. And then it started to go to shit, and now you're surprised? Stop thinking that. What did you start thinking, darling? You know, there were some fears and they manifested. How are you doing, Queen? Oh, hi, Nikki. I'm great, darling. What's this? You absolute queen. Now you know it works. Get whatever you want. What is this? Somebody is replying to another success. What was it? Where is it? SP came back after no contact. Oh, wonderful, Shah. That's what everyone's congratulating you about. Wonderful day. All right. Are you guys getting this? Those of you asking me questions about fucking third parties, I have 10,000 gazillion videos on my YouTube about third parties. It's all about you. Loz, if you only had one piece of advice for self-concept, what would it be? You are the only cause. So what are you causing in your reality? What are your fears that you are holding on to subconsciously that are causing your reality? Investigate them. Change them. Who you think you am is how everything will be. Who do you think you are? Got it? That's all I'm teaching you guys. How to let go of the fears. Guys, we're not letting go of them. We're changing them. You can't let them go. They'll just fucking come back like a homing pigeon. This is like a void in your mind. As soon as you take something out, a vacuum will just suck it straight back in. There's not a black hole in there. You've got to fill it with new thoughts. You've got to change the thoughts. You can't just let them go, oh, like a cloud. Oh, bye. Bye, old fears. See ya. Your brain goes, but we've always thought those. What are we thinking instead? Nothing. You're not going to give me anything to fill the void? Oh, okay, I'll just keep thinking this until you change it. Okay? Why don't you start focusing on money? Because hardly anyone asks me about money. Ask me about money. Guys, most of you, when I do videos about money, even though I've created this whole business from TikTok and I'm a millionaire, half of you don't want to know how I did it. So ask me. What's this? So why are you writing money, 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 money? Why are you so desperate for money? What's happening with you that this is like you have to write it 5 times? What's the question? I want to know, what are your subconscious fears about money? Tell me that instead of writing money 10 times. How's that help me? I don't know how to answer that. Obviously, you have some fears around money and why you don't have money, and that's why you're writing money 5 times. So tell me about yourself and money instead of just desperately writing the word money with no information. I cannot help you with that. What's your personal fave thing to do when you have bad thought flows? I just said, if I have a moment where something's going really wrong in my 3D or I'm having really bad thoughts about something, I will literally sit down. Like, where is my journal? I must have put it back up in my room. Oh no, it's over there. And I will literally write what's going to happen as I'm panicking or as I'm thinking bad things. I write the opposite. And I'm so good at it that there's another journal upstairs that I sat in bed and read someone once a couple of months ago, and they were like, oh my God, everything in here came true. Are you a witch? Right? And then I swapped journals. So that journal finished. Everything came true in that journal. Great. New journal. Okay. I ran out of space. Reaffirm negative thoughts into positive thoughts. What's this, Nikki? I don't know what that means. What's this? What if I find it difficult to believe the new desired story? You don't have to, darling. No one's forcing you to believe shit. Belief takes time. Who told you have to believe it? I didn't. You're watching morons tell you to believe shit. Doesn't matter. Just think it dominantly, please. Think it more than you think the other things. Do you write it once and then read it over and over, or do you write it over and over again? No, I don't write it over and over again like Bart Simpson on the chalkboard. I just write it once and then I go back and read it, or I start thinking it. I'll go back and read it if I need to. I'll just concentrate on the page and be like, yep, that's happening. Yep, it's done. And then I don't read it again. Or if I'm triggered by it again, I'll go back to that page and be like, no, this is what's happening. Or I'll write more. Do you want me to go get my journal? I'll show you. I don't really want to show you what I've written, but hang on. Wait 2 seconds. So like, I wrote big letters last night here. So this was what I wanted to happen a couple of days ago, and then something happened yesterday. So then yesterday I wrote about what I want to happen now, about this thing that happened yesterday, and now it's all happened today. Right? There's pages and pages of it. It's just like big essays of what I want to happen. Okay? That old life is gone. Such and such doesn't want it anymore. Right? How do I write this? It will all work out better than we even imagine it will. It is happening now. Everything is working out in blah, blah, blah. This person is getting everything they want. This person, blah, blah, blah. So I'm talking about another person as well. Okay? As if it's already happened or it will happen. Right? I've written quotes of what I want people to say. Like in inverted commas. Some of which I've heard already, some of which I'm still waiting for. I this, I that. I bring this, I bring that. I give this, I am this. I write about myself. I am blah, blah, blah. I am blah, blah, blah. Everything gets resolved. Everything works out. Bloody, 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 blah. This person does this. This person does that. Right? I'm just looking at I can't read out anything I'm showing you guys, okay? They must do this. They must do that. I decide the outcome. No free will, I've written in capital letters here, right? I've even written a letter to someone at the start. You guys getting this? As if it's already happened or as if it will happen. What you want to hear, what you want to experience, how you want someone else to be, how you want them to see you. Words you want to hear, things you want to experience. You guys getting this? You don't have to journal, but I do. No, I don't journal every day. I just said only when I'm feeling triggered, maybe once a month. Or if something was major going on, it might be once a week. I don't sit there and journal every single night. But you can do that, guys. You can do whatever you like. I can't give you a definite, this is a routine you all must do, because I don't know what's going on with your reality, okay? When I am in a crisis or something is going on in my 3D reality, I obviously don't talk about it like a crisis, but I might journal or do things like that more often. Or rage affirm, yes, that works for you. Yes, rampaging, yep, I do a lot of rampaging sometimes. Do you add how you feel or the event, how it's going to happen? You could put how you feel, this feels so wonderful now that this has happened. Or isn't it wonderful this happened? Or having a conversation with someone, this happened and this. Like I've actually got in my other journal, me saying to someone saying to me either in a phone conversation or text message this phrase, and that phrase, the thing I wrote, happened. And then that person said to me, oh, this has happened. And I'm like, hey. And that's when I read it out to this other person, they were like, are you a witch? Because exactly what I had written was either said to me or occurred. And I'd put it in like that, like they're going to say this or they're going to do this. Just signed up to be their priority. I've realized my concept on this is affecting all areas of my life. Guys, if you don't feel like you'll be prioritized, it will affect all areas of your life. That heavily used to affect me in career, with friendships, with family, with other people not giving me the time, and most especially in relationships. So many things I've journaled came true to the T. Exactly, Madeline. Exactly. Sometimes you'll even journal about one person that you want, and then the other person comes along and they fit everything you've written or thought about or affirmed about or concentrated on with the other person, and another SP turns up and plays out exactly the reality that you wanted the first one to be. That's happened to me multiple times. It's hard when you see them every day and you're trying to change the story. Rosie, it's not hard when you understand this and you realise that you are the one causing that story. Turn your attention away from whatever's happening with them and only concentrate on the version of them in your mind that you want to see. I know it's more difficult when they're right in front of you, but you've got to understand you're the one creating that thing right in front of you. You're understanding this? I write and journal as well. Sometimes it feels robotic, like how can I change that? Well, then don't do it as much, Nikki. That's why I'm saying you don't have to do it all the time. Or like Bart Simpson on the chalkboard, it's literally something that you would do like in a diary. If you were writing a diary, would you sit there and repeat yourself every night? Or would you just write one entry and close the book? Why are you guys doing it like it's a chore? None of this should be like a chore or robotic. If you guys are doing anything with manifestation that seems robotic or a chore, you're not doing this correctly. You're meant to be doing it with conviction. Robots don't do things with conviction. They do things because they were programmed to do it, and they just automatically do it on autopilot because they're robots and they're doing it robotically. I don't want anybody doing anything robotically, even journaling. So why are you feeling that way about it? What are you doing, Nikki? Something wrong. My SP said some hurtful things to me. No, I don't want the relationship to end. Well, then stop thinking shit that he's saying out of his mouth. Whatever they say out of their mouth came out of your brain first. So what did you put in his brain from your brain, darling? They can only be as you're being. So what are you thinking about you that's causing him to be that way? What kind of things do you think he's going to turn up like? What kind of things do you think he's going to say? What kind of things do you think about yourself? And why you get treated the way you do? Change it and he'll change. What is your opinion on robotic affirming? It makes me want to vomit, even commenting on it, darling. Because it worked for me, but it can be exhausting. Darling, look, I don't care if it worked for you. That's wonderful. But how long are you planning on doing it for? So that's great that you've changed something in your mind robotically. But are you going to continue doing that? Or are you just going to step into the state of the person who already is that and doesn't need to robotically keep repeating themselves? Like, I'm trying to teach you the easy way to do this, guys. Sitting there robotically is exhausting, doing anything over and over and over and over and over and over. That's why I say it's not sustainable. Go and do it if you like. All power to you bitches who say it worked for me. Yeah, but it's exhausting. And how long are you planning to do that? To your 85? The fuck? There are easier ways. Like, I don't know, understanding your God, and you don't need to do that. SP1 and SP2, both the same, showing I'm not chosen and I don't get commitment. No, you're the same. They're not the same. You're the same old bitch you were before, creating two SPs who turn up exactly the same as you assume SPs will. Don't blame them. What are you thinking? They're not turning up doing anything. Guys. I want to get married, but SP's saying he's not ready now. No, you think he's not ready. I think I have an assumption it won't happen. You think? Guys, they can only be as you're being. They can only say out of their mouths what you think they're going to say. Stop thinking it. How long does it take to lock in your new self-concept? I don't know, darling. How long is it going to take you? I don't know. Guys, I can't give you definitives. I know so many of you would love the magic bean answer. Listen to this video, and at the end of this video, get your SP. It only takes 3 minutes. Do this for 14 minutes a day for 2 weeks, and instantly, guys, that's bullshit. No one can tell you how long it's going to take. It takes as long as it takes for you to convince yourself that it's true. Have you convinced yourself that it's true? No? Well, then it won't happen just yet. Can you guys see the person in the pool next door? I have to do waffle course now that I know my relationship failed. It didn't fail, you fucked it. How did you fuck it? Yes, go and do the course. Guys, it hasn't failed, you can fix it. Loz, have you ever had a day or more where you said, oh, this shit doesn't work? Maybe back in the day when I didn't understand this. Like somebody wrote, it was really funny, somebody wrote on my YouTube recently, oh, there's some woman going around making videos about you, criticising you. I was like, what? And I was like, oh, whatever, I've never heard of this person. Saying that if I was such a great manifester, why didn't I manifest my acting career? And I wrote, has this person watched my videos? I very specifically tell you for the last 5 years that when I had an acting career, I did not understand this fully. And I would manifest positive things and then not understand that I was causing everything. And then I would manifest negative things and not understand I was doing that. I did not understand the fundamental of I am the only cause. And when I finally got that, and when I finally figured out how to not do that anymore, I started a TikTok and no longer wanted to be an actor. It also happened just before that. It wasn't just about the TikTok. I went to therapy, and my therapist, I went from single therapy to group therapy. And when I went to go and transfer to this group therapy session, as I left the therapist, my therapist said to me, and after you've done this group therapy, she meant, because it was very intense for a whole year, you might discover you don't want to be an actor anymore. And I thought, what a strange thing for her to say. And by the time I got halfway through this thing, I didn't want to. Because I realised why I was being an actor. Because I wasn't being my true self. And when I was happy being myself, I didn't have to be an actor anymore. So I wasn't. And I did this instead. You understand? So there's many factors as to why that happened. But I also didn't fully understand the law. I didn't understand causation at that point. We're all on a learning curve, guys, of how much we know at certain points in time. That's why I shout at you guys, because I don't want you to be as lost as I was. Even when I thought I understood manifestation back in 2017, I really didn't. Can you use Afterpay for your yearly squad membership? I don't think Afterpay allow for subscriptions, darling. That's the problem. You can do PayPal Pay in 4, I think. Discussing journal prompts for manifesting relationships. Yes, that's what we're doing, as well as other things. I've been listening to money sleep affirmations, but my 3D is the same. Yeah, okay, because you're not doing any thinking during the day. You're just relying on sleep tapes and thinking they're magic beans. What are you thinking during the day? What fearful thoughts are coming up during the day about money? You're cancelling out all your sleep therapy and all your sleep affirmations. And guys, I've got a channel called Thought Transmission where you can listen to 8-hour sleep tape, sure. But are you thinking the new thoughts during the day? Probably not, and that's why your 3D is the same, darling. Affirmations and subliminals and sleep tapes aren't magic beans. Stop treating them as such. Also, your Just Decide video is life-changing. I know I am God and everything always works out for me. Wonderful, Mel. Guys, go and watch that. It's a recent one I just did. It's a very must-watch video if you haven't seen it. It's a very must-watch lesson. A very must-watch lesson? Does that make sense grammatically? Not really. It's a must-watch lesson. All right, guys, go over to My Subconscious Laws YouTube if you're on TikTok right now, or if you're on my YouTube right now watching this back, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and come and join me in the squad. I am recording my next podcast tomorrow. We've already chosen the 3 people, and if you want to be on my Laws Line podcast, all you need to do is be a member of the Subconscious Laws squad, and the next time we are putting the feelers out for our podcast, which will be in about 2 weeks' time, you can put your name down and you can get coached by me live on the Laws Line. Just be part of the squad. All right, guys, I will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye, guys.